Samsung's latest Galaxy A series phones bring some exciting upgrades, but not all changes are for the better. The Galaxy A36 and Galaxy A56 are losing a feature that many users have relied on for years: expandable storage. This move brings them closer to Samsung's premium phones, which have already abandoned the microSD card slot. But is this a necessary change, or is Samsung taking away something valuable from mid-range users? For years, one of the biggest advantages of mid-range and budget Galaxy phones was their support for microSD cards. While flagship models like the Galaxy S series moved away from expandable storage, budget-conscious users still had the flexibility to add more space whenever they need it. That changes with the 2025 Galaxy A lineup. The Galaxy A36 and Galaxy A56 are the first in their respective lines to drop the microSD slot. This means that users will have to rely on built-in storage or cloud-based alternatives to store their photos, videos, and apps. Samsung has been phasing out expandable storage gradually, starting with its most expensive phones. Now it's clear that this trend has reached the mid-range lineup as well. For some users, this might not be a big deal, especially if they use cloud storage or don't store large files on their devices. However, for those who relied on microSD cards for easy expansion, this could feel like a downgrade rather than an upgrade. There is one exception though. The lower-cost Galaxy A26 still supports expandable storage, and it even allows microSD cards of up to 2 terabytes, an improvement from the previous 1 terabyte limit. This means that users who prioritize storage flexibility might find the A26 a better choice despite it being the most affordable model in the series. It's an interesting decision by Samsung, removing microSD support from the more expensive models while keeping it in the cheapest option. Without expandable storage, buyers of the Galaxy A36 and Galaxy A56 will have to carefully choose between the two available storage options: 128 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes. While this may be enough for casual users, those who store a lot of media files, games, or high-resolution videos might quickly run out of space. With no microSD option, the only alternatives will be cloud-based solutions like Google Drive or OneDrive, or using USB external drives for backups. Cloud storage can be convenient, but it often requires a paid subscription for larger capacities, and it isn't always practical in areas with limited internet access. Aside from the storage change, the new Galaxy A models do bring some solid upgrades. Samsung has improved build quality, refreshed the camera design, and extended software support, making these devices feel more premium. The removal of expandable storage might have been a cost-cutting decision or an effort to push users toward higher storage variants and cloud services. Either way, it's a change that will impact how users manage their data. The question remains, does losing expandable storage make these phones less appealing? Some users may not be affected at all, while others might see it as a deal breaker. It's clear that Samsung is following a trend that has already been adopted in the flagship segment, but mid-range buyers tend to have different priorities. Many people in this price range appreciate the ability to extend storage without paying extra for higher variants or subscriptions. So what do you think? Is Samsung making the right move by removing expandable storage, or is this a step in the wrong direction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the latest tech. 2025 might be the year of ultra-slim smartphones, with big brands racing to create the thinnest flagship device. Samsung has already teased the Galaxy S25 Edge, expected to launch in April, while Apple is working on the iPhone 17 Air, set to arrive later this year. But surprisingly, a lesser-known brand might actually outshine them both in the slim smartphone competition. Just ahead of MWC 2025, one of the biggest tech events in the world, Chinese brand Tecno has revealed the Spark Slim, which claims to be the world's thinnest smartphone. What makes it even more impressive is that it packs a 5,200 mAh battery while being just 5.75 millimeters thick. On top of that, it features dual 50-megapixel cameras, making it a strong contender in the ultra-thin category. However, there's a big catch. The Spark Slim is still just a concept. While Tecno plans to showcase demo units and MWC, there's no official launch date, and there's a real chance this phone may never hit store shelves. If history is any indication, many concept devices don't always make it to production. For example, Tecno's ultra-thin trifold phone from last year was an exciting reveal, but it never became a real commercially available product. Still, the specifications of the Spark Slim are impressive. It features a 6.78-inch AMOLED display with curved edges, offering a sharp 1224 resolution and a smooth 144 Hz refresh rate. The screen is also said to be incredibly bright, reaching a peak of 4,500 nits, which is higher than most flagship devices. The front camera is a 13 megapixel sensor placed within a small punch hole cutout. Inside, the 4.04 millimeter thick battery supports 45-watt fast charging, and while the camera bump does add some thickness, the phone remains impressively compact overall. At just 5.75 millimeters thick, this device is an engineering achievement, especially considering its battery size. For comparison, the upcoming Galaxy S25 Edge is rumored to be around 6 millimeters thick and will likely feature a 4,000 mAh battery. That means Tecno has managed to fit a significantly larger battery in a thinner design, which raises the question, how did they do it? The answer lies in advancements in battery technology, specifically the use of silicon carbon batteries. This new battery type allows for higher energy density while keeping the overall size compact. A similar approach was seen in the OnePlus 13, which used silicon carbon technology to fit a massive 6,000 mAh battery without making the phone too bulky. By using this innovation, Tecno has managed to push the limits of smartphone design, at least in terms of what's possible on paper. Meanwhile, Apple's upcoming iPhone 17 Air is also expected to be one of the thinnest smartphones ever, with reports suggesting it could measure around 5.5 millimeters at its thinnest point. However, Apple is unlikely to include a battery as large as Tecno's Spark Slim. Apple's focus has always been on optimizing software efficiency rather than just increasing battery size. Samsung might be taking a bold step with its latest flagship lineup. While the Galaxy S25 series was already expected, the surprise reveal of the Galaxy S25 Edge at the Galaxy Unpacked 2025 event left many with more questions than answers. Samsung showed off the device but didn't mention its specifications, price, or release date. Now, new leaks suggest when people might finally get their hands on it. According to a report from Korea's SE Daily, the Galaxy S25 Edge is set to launch on April 16, 2025, with availability starting in May. The phone will reportedly come in 3 colors: black, blue, and silver. As for pricing, the report claims it will be slightly more expensive than the Galaxy S25, which suggests Samsung is positioning it as a premium alternative to the standard model. What's particularly interesting is the limited production run. The report states that Samsung is manufacturing only 40,000 units initially. This is a relatively low number for a flagship device, signaling that the company might be testing the market before committing to mass production. It could also mean that Samsung is unsure about the demand for this model, since it is the first time the brand has launched such a variant. Limited availability could either drive up excitement or leave potential buyers frustrated if stock runs out too quickly. In terms of hardware, the Galaxy S25 Edge is expected to share most of its specifications with the Galaxy S25 Plus. However, there will be 2 key differences: the camera system and the device's thickness. Unlike the Galaxy S25 Plus, which features a triple camera setup, the S25 Edge will have only 2 rear cameras. Samsung has reportedly opted for a 200 megapixel main camera paired with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. While this setup might seem like a downgrade compared to the S25 Plus, the inclusion of a high-resolution primary camera could still deliver excellent results. The ultra-wide camera will allow users to capture broader scenes, making it a useful addition for landscape photography and group shots. The second major difference is the design. The Galaxy S25 Edge is said to be much slimmer than the S25 Plus, which could be a key selling point for those who prefer a sleek, lightweight device. A thinner body usually means a smaller battery, but Samsung might have found a way to maintain battery efficiency through optimizations in software and hardware. If Samsung can balance battery life and a thinner profile, the S25 Edge could attract users who want a premium feel without the bulk of larger flagship devices. Samsung's decision to launch a device like the Galaxy S25 Edge is an interesting one. It's not often that a smartphone brand releases a variant with fewer cameras and a slimmer design while keeping the core specifications intact. This could indicate that Samsung is experimenting with a new segment, offering a stylish flagship for users who care more about aesthetics and portability rather than having multiple camera sensors. If the strategy works, Samsung might expand this lineup in the future. The key question now is whether the limited production and slightly higher price tag will make the Galaxy S25 Edge an attractive option for consumers.